I need to address something very specifically. It's the pass rush opposite of Montez Sweat. You remember early in the year when everybody's healthy? They were getting after the quarterback.
A little bit.
Early in the year, they were getting after the quarterback, and then it just kind of went, bleh.
Yeah.
It went, bleh. Part of that was Sweat got banged up. Part of it was Dexter got a little banged up.
Billings got hurt.
Because Billings got hurt. I mean, Dexter was hot for a while early.
Yeah.
It looked like he's going to be able to put double-digit sacks up, but then he was stuck on 4 for what seemed like forever.
Yeah.
So, again, offensive line, opposite side of Montez Sweat. That's where I concentrate on. You got depth. You got depth in the secondary.
They do. O-line, D-line, those are going to be the orders of the offseason, man. That's it. It's right there. You don't have to overthink it either. I mean, those are the two things that are going to need the biggest upgrades and where they need the most help.
And I could use a quality third wide receiver that you bring in at $5 million.
I think they need, yeah, and I see what you're saying. Like
a $5 million wide receiver.
You're going to lose Keenan
veteran
Allen.
guy coming out of the slot.
Yeah, veteran guy.
5-year contract maximum. If I can't fill it with a young kid, that's what direction I go.
I also think they're going to be looking for a little bit more of a home run element for their offense. Considering Ben Johnson is
the top off.
Yeah, is used to having Jamison Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Sure.
They don't have that type of speed on the offense, really. I mean, I guess it's supposed to be Tyler Scott, right, guys? But it just he hasn't. We
hasn't
hardly
flourished.
seen him.
He hasn't flourished here.
Maybe something clicks here finally, and he can develop going into year 3, and he's that speed element. But yeah, when you say take the top off, they don't really have that. And Ben Johnson wants it. I don't know how different the style's going to be now that he won't have the benefit of playing on the fast turf and playing indoors. And so he said, he's going to – the old playbook is in the garbage. This is going to be new. It's not going to look exactly the same. He doesn't have the same weapons to do it the same either. And he doesn't have all the same luxuries that you have, especially when you're coaching in a dome. So I think it'll look different, but he's accustomed to having home run hitters and big explosive plays. Like, where's he going to get that out of this offense? And I don't mean that DJ Moore can't do it. Like you've said it all year. Why is DJ Moore averaging 10 yards a catch? Like, is that a DJ Moore thing or is that an offensive thing?
No, he's never averaged 10 yards a catch.
He never has.
It's an offense thing. That's 100% absolutely
right?
An offense thing. And it could lead to frustration. It could lead to what's the word I'm looking for? Discontent.
Okay.
That's what it could lead to.
And I think it did.
That could be a problem, yeah.
And so, you have maybe a little of that when DJ's going well, and maybe the scheme helps more, get more explosiveness back out of some of their players. But that's the one area from a skill position standpoint that I think they're going to want to address. Look, this isn't brain surgery here, all right? Like, it's pretty obvious. I'm not saying it's easy, but fixing those lines is the order of the offseason. That's it. Improving your offensive line, getting another pass rusher for your D-line, however you're going to do that. The draft, they're saying, is going to be pretty good for edge rushers. Maybe for agency, it's not as good in free agency. But, however you do it, those are the two most important things. Lots of teams in the league want to improve their own line and their D-line. I mean, I'm not suggesting that it'll be easy. But the other thing I could see them going out and looking to add, just because Ben Johnson's here now and offense is going to be a big focus, is finding a little bit more speed and explosiveness and like a home run hitter that I don't know that they have. Again, maybe DJ and maybe Adunze too, but I don't know that they've got anything close to what he had in Detroit with a couple of the home run hitters that they have up there. So I could see them being in that market a little bit. I don't, the wide receiver market's not great either, though, really, is it? I don't think that's a great draft for wide receivers.
I think you've got Cooper, you got T. Higgins out there.
Yeah,
Stephon Diggs is out there, but is Stephon Diggs ready to not get paid a ton of money? That's what you're looking for.
Also coming off a major injury,
But the point is, if you look through the list of 75 free agents, you're going to find 10 wide receivers out there that have some experience, and it just depends how patient you're willing to be. And some groups get paid. Teams look at it and say, well, there's nobody here that's elite.
Yeah.
Except for T. Higgins. We can wait on everybody else. And when the prices come down after, the first 2 weeks are your big free agents.
Those are the big ones.
After that are some guys that get signed at the next level. After that, you got guys that are signing for team-friendly deals. Where they can come in, maybe get some bonuses in that structure where they can earn a little extra $2 million. But those would be those deals after that. So you've got to be patient. A month and a half, middle of March, beginning of April, where you sign some of these veteran guys that you want to come in and say, hey, I want you to be my slot receiver because this is what we need you for. You're going to play 65% of the downs,
right?
70% of the downs.
When was the last time Stephon Diggs had 100 yards receiving in a game? Now, granted, he missed half the year this year. He only played 8 games. When was the last time Stephon Diggs
and Nico Collins and the other guy kind of get more? Yeah, Tank Dell get a little more action. I'd say last year, week 6.
Yeah, you're about right. It was. I'll tell you the exact week. Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah,
it was October of last year. It was October of 2023.
Right, last year.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what I meant. Not this past year, but the last.
I don't know how you pulled that out of your ass, but you nailed it.
Well,
week 6.
The way you
last
asked
year.
it. The way you asked
that
it
was
would
good. You nailed
dictate
it.
it didn't happen this year.
Yes.
And then I just went to week 6 because Nico Collins developed in 23.
Yes, he did. Yeah. Week 6 in Buffalo, obviously when he was still with the Bills, in the 2023 season.
In week 6, just as a guess.
That was
That's
pretty
all
funny
it was.
that you
Just,
nailed that.
I had 17 weeks, right?
like it.
18.
Mike's and Byron on ESPN 1000. What's up?
Son of Byron,
what's up, Mike?
brother of Al. How are you, kid?
Hey, good. How you guys doing?
We're great.
Excellent.
Awesome. Happy Friday.
You too.
Anyways, I'd like Johnson to take control and find somebody, even if it's like Owen Cruz or whatever, to look at these offensive linemen and also, the college guys coming out, because Ryan Poles has been terrible. He shot himself in the foot with getting Shelton and Bates and I don't know the other guard that wouldn't show up.
Nate Davis.
It hasn't been doing well. And Wright was not, he wasn't the best pick. They could have had Jalen Carter instead of Darnell Wright. So, I hope somebody comes in and takes care of offensive.
New set of eyes, Mike. For sure.
The relationship between George and Olin, I don't know if it's been repaired, but remember when they had their little verbal sparring match?
Yeah.
I don't know if George and Olin are ever going to see eye to eye again. Maybe they've settled it. Maybe they've found some common ground between the two of them, but that definitely wouldn't be somebody you bring in to take a look at it. I don't think the relationship is that great with the Bears. Now, could be wrong. I just know that there was a sparring match between the two of them.
I think they were arguing about Joe Buck. I think Olin really likes Joe Buck, and George obviously doesn't. Did you hear George take a shot at Joe Buck? This was towards the end of George's press conference earlier in the week when George didn't have a press conference. They met the media. He and Kevin Warren met the media off the side. This was George McCaskey, though, out of nowhere. Joe Buck takes a shot.
What do you think of the part owner of the Raiders being on the announce for the game the other night? Tom Brady. I don't care who they put on. When Joe Buck's on, I turn the sound down.
About that shot from one of the owners, taking a shot at Joe Buck.
Well, maybe he just doesn't like to hear him. Some people didn't like Howard Cosell back in the day. They turned him down.
Am I crazy? I think Buck and Aikman are they're the best.
I'll co-sign with you.
Will you co-sign with me, Chris?
I
think they're the best national broadcast crew.
I don't like
for football.
I don't like Michaels and Herb Street.
I don't either.
I don't either.
That's the one I don't like.
And it's funny because individually I like both of them. I do. Al's one of the all-time great announcers. It's not good though.
Was.
All right, was. That's fine. Fair enough.
I'll respect his career.
Yeah.
The last couple of years, he has been brutal on these Thursday night games.
I feel like it's been bad. I think you're right.
Those two, the Thursday night prime broadcasts, clearly has, you can tell as a viewer, the least amount of prep that goes into the games.
I think that's because Herb Street's doing a million freaking things.
Herb Street's doing too much, and Al is not invested the way he used to be.
But there is a familiarity that Herb Street has with these kids when they were in college.
Yeah.
So at least he's got a somewhat based knowledge of the guys that are in the league without maybe studying exactly what's happening in the league.
That's a fair point. But when you're watching an NFL game, you don't need to hear where each player went to school and that Herbie covered them at that school
Yeah.
for his only breakdown
right.
of said player. When
That's
said players like Joe Mixon, a player who's been in the NFL for quite some time.
You
like 8
lean,
years.
right?
Right.
You
Like-
lean on what you know.
Right, no, I know that.
That's
I know
his
that.
first statement.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
just
right.
saying when it's like T. Higgins with a touchdown catch, and his only thought about T. Higgins is that he was a Clemson wide receiver. It's like, come on, buddy,
it's not good.
Like the dude's going to be a free agent. He's one of the best wide receivers in football. Like, come on.
And I think like individually there are things I like about like I think Tirico's really good. I don't necessarily love Chris Collinsworth, so that
Well, ditto.
so I just think I think the combo of Buck and Aikman are the best of the national broadcast.
Rank the rest, because I think there's flaws in the other ones.
I think
All of the other options have a flaw.
I think they absolutely do. And listen, we're probably in the minority here. I think more people dislike Joe Buck than like him, and that's fine. I mean, I think he's very good, and I think Aikman's very good. I think Aikman still works pretty hard at it, even though he's been doing it forever, and he's good. I think his analysis is good. He's not afraid to take shots. I think Greg Olson's excellent. I really do. I think he is top notch. I don't know that it's and he does it with.
Kevin Burkhardt.
No, Burkhardt's with Brady
Burkhardt's with Brady,
who does it with? Why can't I think of who does it with Greg? I can't think of
because
who their
Greg-
second announcer is.
Greg Olson just overshadows him with
He's-
his
Is
excellence.
it Joe Davis?
It might be Joe Davis.
Yeah,
I think
Joe
it
Davis.
is.
Yeah,
And
because-
Joe's good. That's a good one.
Amin is
With
Sanchez.
That's
right.
Yeah.
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 Do
Joe,
you think
Joe Davis is good?
Did George think that Joe Buck was doing the game with Brady?
I think he just
'Cause I
took
thought
that
about-
as a shot. He
Well,
had
no,
a
because
chance.
think
He
about
just
this.
took it as a shot at Joe Buck.
How many Sundays, when the Bears play on Sunday, how many Sundays is he not at the stadium or on the road with them? He goes to every
He goes
game.
to every game. Yeah, George.
And
George
do you
is
think
at
he's
every
sitting
game.
down on Monday night and watching Monday Night Football?
I think he might really dislike Joe for some reason, or he knows people don't like Joe,
Could
and
be
he just
over the
took it as
last
an opportunity
20
to be like, I
years,
turn it down
right?
when it's Joe Buck.
He's doing jokes like we all hated Joe Buck 5 years ago.
Right.
We all
Yeah,
like Joe Buck
But
now.
I'm saying over the last 20 years, he might have had to burn his saddle over the last 20 years. Joe Buck wasn't always doing Monday night games.
That's fair.
Yeah, so this may be a long time callous on George McCaskey's
Well,
keister.
Joe Buck was on a lot of Bears-Packers games.
Yeah.
Maybe that's got something to do with it. A lot of Bear Packer games over there. Joe Buck's been on a lot of everything. He's been a lead broadcaster amongst multiple sports for 25 years? Think about it. I mean, it's a long time. All right, give us your broadcast power rankings. 312-332-3776. That was a funny shot out of nowhere, George, the other day. It's Carmen and Jurko.